a Werner von Braun book. So Elon is the elected leader of the Martian government, serving a 5-year term. Elon and their cabinet administrator have laws enacted by 2 houses of parliament. Elon in Project Mars, A Technical Tale, is the name of the Martian leader, and the connection between the character and Elon Musk led to speculation about Werner von Braun's influence on Musk's space exploration.
Okay, now,
so this is a book from, I think it's 1953.
Okay, you ready?
Right? Is that when he wrote it, Jamie?
Hold on.
48 to 49.
See if you can find the tweet, that Elon's tweet, because Elon's tweet is hilarious. Because like, how is this possible? Because he's like this doesn't even make sense. This is so crazy.
I do have one non-sexy explanation that could explain this.
Okay.
One of his parents was a huge fan of that author, read that book, and in honor of that character, actually called Elon Musk Elon.
Sure, that's great. But what are the odds that guy's going to develop rockets?
That's true.
What are the odds that your little baby boy, who you're naming when he was 1 day old, is going to develop?
Yeah, that part.
1953 book, Mars Project by Werner von Braun says the leader of Mars shall be called Elon. Someone pulled the original German manuscript out of the archives to debunk this myth, only to confirm that von Braun did indeed predict he'd be called Elon. And Elon writes, "How can this be real?" It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy because the guy's literally obsessed with Mars and has created rockets that you can catch. Rockets that
have you seen when Trump explains that?
Yeah, it's hilarious.
So amazing.
It's amazing what he can do with these rockets. it's nuts, man. We're living in a very, very strange time. What is this? This is Elon's dad.
Says Elon's father named him after reading the book. It's common knowledge.
Amazing. He did name him after reading the book.
Okay, so
amazing.
I got also, that part. Okay.
Still, what are the odds?
Still.
What are the odds? There's 8 billion people on this fucking planet. What are the odds that your kid who you named Elon because you read a book becomes the guy? And Elon didn't even know about it?
Wow.
What about that thing with Barron Trump? Have you heard that?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
that's nuts, too.
That's wild.
Find that one. That one's nuts, too. That one's completely bizarre.
Barron, the young kid.
Yeah.
What is it?
Well he'll pull it up. Okay. I don't want to fuck it up. But there's a few of those that make you wonder, like, is this a simulation? Is this real? I feel like there's aspects of it that are real.
I'm trying to find the year. There's a series of books from, like, I think it's the late 1800s or something.
Yeah.
About... Yeah, it says 1900 here, but it's like a person named Barron Trump goes on these adventures, gets a guy from Manhattan to be his like guide. It's very strange and very similar to like what.
See if you can find what the synopsis like what connects it to Barron Trump. It seems real weird. It's almost like the telepathy thing, like someone in the past says, I think something's going to happen one day. I just get this feeling. This is Elon motherfucker's going to, you know what I mean? Like I think there's some weird things about the potential futures. And that might be also what we're seeing with this alien stuff. I think this alien stuff might be the future.
How many times have you had Elon on the show?
Oh, a bunch of times.
The book was called The Last President. Oh, ad blocker.
The Last President. That's kind of crazy. Because if shit hits the fan and the aliens land, he is the last president. In 1889 novel called Barron Trump's Marvelous Underground Journey was written by Ingersoll Lockwood. He would go on to write another book called The Last President in 1900. Mystery which involves the Trump family, Nikola Tesla, time travel, and dark forces.
Wow.
Dun, dun, dun.
He lives in a castle called Castle Trump.
So he's follows the adventures of a young aristocrat named Barron Trump living in a castle named Castle Trump, which is fucking crazy. The character is described as intelligent, curious, and somewhat arrogant, guided by his mentor, Dawn. Barron embarks on fantastical journeys, including one to discover a magical portal in Russia.
Uh-oh. Putin connections confirmed.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
It's like, is this
That's
bullshit? Is life bullshit? Is life real?
Wow.
I think life's mostly real. But, this is the problem with the whole idea of simulation theory, is that if it's true, if there is a simulation, and the simulation, if we develop technology where the simulation becomes indiscernible from reality itself, how will we know? Maybe we'll know from goofy clues like that, like silly coding, Easter eggs that God leaves behind.
I would love to know what was the mechanism by which, for each of those stories that you came up with, who came up with, like,
right.
was it just a fan of one of those books who said, wait a minute? And
right. Well, the weird one is, why is Wernher von Braun writing fiction when he's a fucking Nazi?
Yeah,
why?
right.
What, in Nazi running NASA, and before that he was writing fiction? Like, how's he have time? How's he have time to write fiction when this guy's in the middle of developing rockets for the Germans?
Yeah, wow. Yeah. Amazing story. So what are some of the things that you take away when you interact with Elon? Because I've been fortunate enough to get to know him a bit better now and so on, and I'm just amazed by what an amazing guy he is. What are some of your views?
Well, he's just a fascinating human being.
Yeah.
Like, if we didn't live in a time of Elon Musk and you were studying him in history, you'd be like, Jesus Christ, what was that guy like?
Yeah.
That guy must have been insane.
Yeah,
this guy's running 5 different companies simultaneously.
Unbelievable.
And trying to develop a Department of Government efficiency at the same time. And he's a very unique human being
really
that exists once every who knows how many generations, if ever.
And to think that there are like when this Nazi salute thing came out,
mm-hmm.
and of course, I debunked it, and there's some weight to it because I happen to be Jewish and I know him. But do you really need me to come out with my imprimatur to say, no?
People don't really believe he made a Nazi salute. They want to believe, so they say they believe, because you can get him on that, and he's on the defensive. It's an attack vector.
Okay, so you don't think anybody who levies
he's a fucking Nazi. He literally wears a thing around his neck that says "Bring them all home."
Yeah.
About the hostages.
Or did you see when he said? I don't know if it was after Ben Shapiro when he went with him to I think it was Auschwitz or something, and he said, I am Jew-ish.
Yes. Yeah. He's a fascinating human being.
Yeah,
all fascinating human beings, especially all people that are in incredible positions of power and wealth, which is what he is, you're going to get attacked.
Yeah.
And you get attacked by a lot of bad faith arguments, and this is one of them.
Well, the last time I was in Austin, we had met up in person, and but it was delayed, our meeting, because he ended up having to go to all sorts of depositions, and so he would be texting me and saying, "Oh, I'm in this hellish deposition." And then later when we met, he kind of told me a bit about it. I mean, I won't share some of the stuff, but I'm thinking, if at my level I get people coming after me,
mm-hmm.
it's unimaginable to even think at what level, right?
Yeah.
For me, it's a troll coming after me, or an annoying academic, or an Islamist who sends me a death threat. Okay, fine. But I mean, he's getting governments attacking him.
Yeah.
But yet he just keeps trucking along. It's unbelievable.
Well, I mean, it really helps to have $400 billion.
That does help.
That helps a lot. But, if he didn't buy Twitter, I think the world would be a far more fucked up place right now. I think we would be far more confused, far less free to express ourselves. And the cultural narrative shifted because of people's ability to freely express themselves now on social media in front of everybody, where you just didn't have that before.
Well, I mean, literally within few days of it being, maybe even the same day of it being announced that he was buying it, I had put out a clip on my channel where I said, of all things that Elon Musk has ever done or will ever do, none will ever count as much as him having bought Twitter.
If it didn't happen, you would have a complete cult-like takeover of all public discourse. All public discourse would be controlled by this ridiculous ideology, this woke ideology, this what you call a mind virus.
Yeah.
And that mind virus would have been used by corporations, and it has been, and used by government, and it has been used in order to enact more control over its citizens under the guise of protecting marginalized people and protecting ideas. It seems like they're doing the right thing, and it seems like opposing that is doing the wrong thing. But it's just a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's just control. It's just the government they don't give a fuck about DEI. All they give a fuck about is votes and power and control.
Exactly.
And if they can use DEI to get their way, and if they can use whatever green energy bullshit they're pushing, whatever they're doing, they're not doing it because they're trying to save you. That's nonsense. If you look at it from the perspective of, this is to gain more power more influence and make more money. Then you'll see things more clearly.
So I've been asked in many different contexts, do you